No ruler would ever have done something as unhinged as torture, control, sleep with, and enslave dwarves, right? Think again. Meet Ibrahim I, the Sultan, with a peculiar penchant for, well, dwarves. Yep, that's the headline. Let's dive into the twisted tale of this Ottoman eccentric. So, ever heard of a childhood that's more twisted than a pretzel? Enter Ibrahim I's world. Born into the opulence of the Ottoman Empire, Ibrahim I wasn't exactly handed the typical royal childhood. Picture this, it's the 17th century, and the Ottoman Empire is glittering brighter than a disco ball. But beneath the shine, it's more Game of Thrones than a fairy tale. Ibrahim's early years were, let's just say, character building. Ever felt the weight of a tense atmosphere? Multiply that by 100 and you're close to the political climate he grew up in. The empire was vast, and with great power came great backstabbing. And trust me, it's not the kind you're thinking of. The Ottomans had this charming tradition called fratricide. Sounds fancy, right? Well, it's just a posh word for brothers offing brothers to secure the throne. Family love. Now, imagine being a young Ibrahim, peeking through the curtains of his lavish room, only to witness his brothers being strangled to death. It's no wonder the guy had trust issues. This wasn't just a one-off horror show, it was a recurring nightmare. Naturally, this would lead to him kidnapping dwarves, dressing them up, torturing them, making them carry him, having orgies with them, and sometimes executing them, as one naturally would. The practice of assassinating rivals, though, that was as routine as afternoon tea. Except instead of scones, you get a side of fraternal murder. Living under such a shadow would mess with anyone's head. For Ibrahim, it was the beginning of a long descent into paranoia and mental instability. Every whisper became a conspiracy, every glance a potential threat, and can you blame him? When family gatherings resemble crime scenes, trust isn't exactly on the menu. But here's the kicker. While most of us would probably curl up in a ball and call it a day, Ibrahim took his trauma and turned it into eccentricity. And by that, I mean the kind of eccentricity that makes you go, did he really just do that? But hey, we'll get to those juicy bits later. So, there you have it, the early life of Ibrahim I, a cocktail of royal opulence, political intrigue, and good old-fashioned family drama. Stay tuned, because things are about to get even wilder. So, we've established that Ibrahim I wasn't your run-of-the-mill sultan. But oh, the rabbit hole goes deeper. Thought witnessing family executions was the peak of his eccentricities? Think again. Ready for the next twist? Let's dive into this, shall we say, heightened interest dwarves. Picture a grand court filled with the usual suspects, nobles, guards, and then dwarves. Everywhere. Every ruler has their quirks. Some had vast libraries, others exotic pets. Ibrahim, he was counting dwarves. Not just a passing fancy, we're talking about an obsession that would make any collector green with envy. While other sultans were plotting wars or building architectural wonders, Ibrahim had a unique passion project, creating the most epic dwarf entourage the world had ever seen. Think of it as collecting action figures, but you know, they're real people. And it wasn't just about quantity, oh no. There was a pecking order, even among his dwarves. At the pinnacle of this hierarchy, the chief dwarf. Laughing? Hold on, this wasn't just a cute title. The chief dwarf was the real deal, the main liaison between the sultan and his miniature court. Got a problem? You'd better hope the chief dwarf was on your side. But let's get to the heart of the matter. Why dwarves? In the Ottoman court, dwarves weren't mere entertainers. They were living, breathing status symbols, like having the latest iPhone, but way more exclusive. For Ibrahim, though, it wasn't just about showing off. There are whispered tales of his interactions with them, some so wild they'd make a bard blush. Stories of mock battles, lavish feasts, and even full-blown wars with dwarves at the center stage. And guess who played the hero every time? Yep, our Sultan Ibrahim. So, what drove this obsession? Some historians think it was all about control. In a world of giants, the dwarves were the one group he could truly tower over. Others argue it was his escape, a break from the pressures of ruling an empire, a chance to live in a world where he made all the rules. Whatever the reason, one thing's undeniable: Ibrahim's reign was a roller coaster. From dark family secrets to an unmatched dwarf obsession, he was a sultan who, for better or worse, left a mark that time just can't erase. Diving deeper into Sultan Ibrahim's world, we find a man with a flair for the dramatic and an unique approach to spending. And trust me, it's more than just a shopping spree. Ever heard of rulers firing cannons at their own palaces? No? Well, meet Ibrahim. While others might have opted for a new painting or a fancy chandelier, Ibrahim went for explosive redecoration. The reasons? Some chalk it up to sheer boredom, while others see it as a power move, a not-so-subtle reminder that he's the boss. The takeaway? With Ibrahim, always expect a bang, literally. Picture this: grand mock battles, not the dwarf kind we discussed, but full-scale war reenactments. All for what? A sultan's fleeting amusement. Some might dub it extravagant, others Tuesday in Ibrahim's court. But the crown jewel? An ivory harem. Some harems were the norm, but one made of ivory? That's like swapping your regular coffee for one sprinkled with gold. Every inch, from the ornate pillars to the intricate bedposts, screamed luxury. It wasn't just a home, it was a masterpiece. And oh, the shopping sprees. From jeweled peacocks to diamond-studded slippers. If it sparkled, Ibrahim wanted it. The economic aftermath? Let's just say the empire's accountants had their work cut out for them. Now, imagine a grand hall bathed in the soft glow of lanterns, the air filled with music, and dwarf entertainers taking center stage. It's opulence, drama, and a dash of the whimsical all rolled into one. Historically, harems were a sultan's pride, but Ibrahim, he turned it up to 11. His ivory haven wasn't just a symbol of wealth, it was a testament to a vision so grand, it was almost otherworldly. In the records of history, many rulers leave their mark with battles won or lands conquered. Ibrahim, he'll forever be the sultan with an ivory palace and a heart that danced to its own beat. Ibrahim's erratic behavior became the empire's worst-kept secret. Whispers of his mental fragility echoed through the palace halls, turning allies into wary observers. The palace walls, usually silent, were alive with murmurs, courtiers huddled in corners, their voices low, discussing the Sultan's latest eccentricities. From a dwarf entourage that would rival any modern celebrity's posse, to ivory harems that made Versailles look like a starter home. Ibrahim was the talk of the town, and not always in a good way. Was he a visionary or just plain volatile? The empire's elite were divided, but one thing was clear: his unpredictable antics were becoming a liability. The tension reached its boiling point, and the palace, once his sanctuary, turned into a hotbed of conspiracy. The result? A coup, swift and decisive. Replaced by a brother with a tad more stability and fewer dwarves, Ibrahim's reign came to an abrupt end. But legends, they linger, and Ibrahim's tale, with all its quirks and caprices, cast a shadow that the annals of history will never forget. Dubbed the Mad Sultan, his legacy is a blend of awe and bewilderment. The Ottoman Empire marched on, but tales of Ibrahim lingered, a testament to a ruler who dared to be audaciously different. His reign, though brief, left an indelible mark, reminding us of the thin line between genius and madness, and the unpredictable dance of power and eccentricity.